Ready, set, go.
That's weird. I also have my Boba Fett socks that I was wearing today.
I have Darth Vader socks on.
I do not. I have a Darth Vader shirt. That's it.
So,
Welcome to Lap 6 of the High Mileage Podcast. Today we're talking about Star Wars.
yep. May the 4th be with you. The day we're recording this is May the 4th.
Star Wars Day.
Star
International
Wars
Star
Day.
Wars Day. Everybody knows that.
Everybody knows that. With us, we have me, Tyler,
We have Chippendale and Bruyn.
Chippendale, and Bruyn in his last couple of weeks in Disney.
Mm-hmm.
And then our first returning guest,
Hey, it's me. I'm back. I'm William Hennessy.
William Hennessy.
I'm William Hennessy.
You sounded very sad about who you were.
Yeah, you did sound sad about who you were. Be proud.
I don't know if it's supposed to be an honor to be the first recurring guest on this podcast.
I think so. I mean, it means you were good enough for us to want you back, so
It's true. I suppose so.
moving up in the world. Yeah, we're celebrating Star Wars Day on this recording. It'll be May the 5th. May the 5th be with you.
No, that doesn't work. Doesn't work.
Revenge of the Fifth.
Revenge of the 5th. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Another excuse. It's an excuse basically to wear the same Star Wars T-shirt in a row, 2 days in a row, or just
Not
wear
shower.
a lot of Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna
Okay.
wear a different Star Wars shirt tomorrow, but right now I got Darth Vader on my chest, so we're all good.
Everything's
Well, even though this isn't a Star Wars podcast, this is a running podcast.
Wait, it's not?
What? Oh, I gotta cut out then.
Kind of got to go.
But yeah, I was told it was gonna be Star Wars pods, so
We do have some interesting topics, though, for today coming through the running world. Some big news happening, some funny stories, some awesome Illinois meets happened over the last couple weeks. Gonna be diving into those as the track season's is winding down now. We got state and sectionals coming up, a lot of conference meets, both in the high school level and the collegiate level, happening this weekend and next weekend. I know the OVC championship is next weekend, so that should be fun.
Big East Outdoors next weekend.
Mm-hmm. Where's your meet at?
We're in Geneva, Ohio, at the Spire Institute or Spire Center. We were there for an indoor conference my freshman year, and yeah, it is. If it's anything how I remember, it's absolutely gorgeous facility.
Oh yeah, I've actually I've never been there, but I've seen pictures of it and stuff. And U of I raced there a few times, I know. And Spire is a huge meet, so it's a really good track.
Yeah, when we first showed up there for like indoor conference my freshman year, we walked onto the indoor track, and I just immediately thought like, oh, it's just a giant 400-meter indoor track. It wasn't 400 meters; it's 300 meters, but still to this day it might be the best track surface I've ever ran on.
Dang.
So if their outdoor track is as nice as their indoor track, then I'm
It's
very,
like
very
completely
excited.
not. They just spent all their budget on the indoor track.
Yeah, it's just like cinders and dirt.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a gravel
Their
200-meter track. It's somehow smaller.
their steeple pit's just like a little hole that they dig with a shovel.
It's a puddle. Yeah, we're heading to Nashville. We got ours at Tennessee State, which was where our indoor conference was. Eastern's trying to get both of them. We won indoor, and now we're trying to get that title outdoor. I think I'm running the 5K for sure, and I'm trying to convince my coach to let me do the 15 as well.
Oh, that's a horrible double. That's the same day. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know it is. They're like an hour apart. I'm super
That's-
stoked. I love the dirty double.
I mean, I'm doubling too, but it's also I have different days. Like I'm steepling on Friday night, then I'll be running the 5K on Saturday afternoon. So
I mean, the last time
Still tough.
anybody on our team did the 5K 15 double, I was our top runner in the 15. So if it like showed anybody could double, that it's me. So I'm like, I'm really trying to
The
convince.
same day. Wasn't the same day.
Yeah,
Much harder to double on the same day.
yeah, but I mean, I still want to do it.
Yeah.
All right, you want to hop into these stories?
So biggest news in high school track right now.
Mm-hmm.
We have another member of the sub 4 minute mile club,
Mhm.
Michael Soglowski out of Idaho with the sub 4 minute mile.
he just like all of a sudden just came out of nowhere though.
I
Just
think he's like, so that's the ninth member,
ninth all time. Yep.
Yep, 359.54.
Yep.
but he's like the seventh fastest, I think, or
Mhm.
something like that.
His old personal best was 4:05. So he like PR'd by 6 seconds to go under. That's insane.
That is insane.
Very, very quick.
It says here
Especially in high school.
It says he's already committed to Penn State, so he's going to be going there.
Oh,
So he's going to run even faster.
Yeah, Penn State, man, they've got a solid like mid-distance crew, like 800s, milers. Like they've had some crazy fast DMRs in the past.
This guy's also got 800 wheels. He's ran a 148.7 800 solo.
Solo, even. Gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how the competition is in Idaho, but I feel like during those kind of times he's probably by himself.
I mean, what do you think he like goes to Tuesday meets and races, or does he just like ranks once a month or something?
I don't know.
He probably did it on Tuesday meet.
Yeah, he broke that at a meet out in Oregon, so I mean he's probably close enough to make some trips out there, it seems like. Yeah, but that's cool. Congratulations to
Michael joining that sub-4 high school elite club. That's awesome. It's awesome that we've gone 2 years in a row now with 2 sub-4-minute high school milers. It's kind of just showing that the way running is progressing in this country. You know, it's just we're just getting faster and faster, and it's amazing to see that.
In Illinois news, there a couple weeks ago was the Palatine, the distance night in Palatine was
big meet.
It's the first time this meet's ever existed. They're trying to get a big meet out there, and it's definitely a cool idea. And there were some really great races out there. The mile was won by Sean Torpy in a 4:08. Right behind him was John Davis in a 4:11, and then Jack Aho was 4:12. Connor McHugh was 4:12 as well. Corey Landon 4:16. Those are your top 5, I think. Yeah, top 5.
Corey Landon 4:16. That's a 1A. That's 2 1A guys right there. John Davis, Corey Landon. And I mean Jack, it will be 3A in track. Man, you know it is kind of. I mean, there's definitely still good 2A performances, but you don't see 2A that much in track anymore, do you?
Yeah,
a
lot of the
super fast guys move up from across.
That's how it like started towards my senior year. Was the great 2A cross teams became 3A, and so the 2A field, like I mean, you had guys like Riley McInerney back then, but like there was never that like it was never as competitive as it like used to be.
And I mean. Luke Beatty and Shane Williamson from 2A are still 2A in track. I'm not 100% sure how they've been doing all track season, but I mean, those are big names that you'll expect to see out there at the state meet. Since, like, we're talking about, like, for high school now, do they have conference next weekend and then sectionals and then state?
Yeah. Next weekend will be the guys, on the guys' side, there'll be conference, and on the girls' side, there'll be sectionals. And then the week after that will be state for girls, sectionals for guys. Yeah, it's winding down.
Yeah, it's going to be super exciting. I can't believe how fast it's come, you know. It feels like just yesterday we were doing our first podcast talking about how we're waiting for track to start, and now it's like...
It's almost over.
It's almost the big finale here.
Yeah. Speaking of, like, so it's winding down, and speaking of the girls' side of the thing, did you see that Judy Pendergast went 10:07 and is now U.S. #1 in the 2 mile?
It's just...
Yeah, she's cruising
Where'd she race that at?
She raced that, it wasn't at Palatine, it was at the SUE Proviso Invitational? Proviso? I don't know if that's how you spell Proviso. Pariseau.
Oh, no, never mind. I was thinking of something else. My bad.
The Sue Pariseau Invitational. She ran 10:07.18. There's a whole video of it up on Dystat, Illinois. You can check it out. It's a pretty awesome race to watch.
I'll have to check that out soon then.
She's just keeps improving. It's really awesome to see her. I wonder what kind of are there like national high school like track meets? I know.
Well, I mean, there's New Balance outdoor.
Yeah. That's not until like super late into this like summer though. But there's like the Jim Ryan Dream Mile and a few others that happen, kind of like the Distance Gala, you know.
Because I really want to see her like stack up against some of like the nation's best. Cause
she will.
She's awesome.
She definitely will.
No reason for her not to.
We had the weekend of relays just passed. Drake relays, Penn State relays. Did you guys go race anywhere, William?
No. Unfortunately, I was not able to. I got left out of the Drake steeplechase. So. Yeah, Yeah.
Mhm.
Which was
I heard it was
kind of,
really windy though, so it wasn't like
yeah,
super
no, the times weren't that fast, but
yeah.
it was kind of weird because last year I got into the steeple at Drake with a slower seed time. So,
Uh,
and I had a faster seed time this year, and I didn't get in. So
yeah.
it's whatever. I'm not exactly angry, especially. I mean, if it had been like perfect conditions and
Yeah.
everybody PR'd, then I would have been a bit upset. But it seemed like conditions were not exactly
It was
nominal.
raining.
Yeah, it was real rainy
raining.
and sloppy out there. It's not
Yeah.
not the best place you wanted to run. Like,
Yeah.
But I mean, it is Drake Relays, so it's always an honor to race there.
mhm.
Oh no! Like racing there last year was one of the better experiences I've ever had in track and field. It's just so cool, you know. Like everybody
The
hears
atmosphere and everything about it.
Same with Penn. Like I wish we'd have been able to run, or wish I'd have been able to go to Penn, but that's whatever.
Penn would be unreal.
Yes.
Yeah. I was just wondering, because I didn't really get a chance to watch either of the races. Do you know what like happened out there? It was
Well,
anything big.
Did you watch the 4x mile, or did you hear about the 4x mile?
Mhm.
Yeah. So
At Penn.
yeah, at Penn, like Penn, like the hosts of the meet won the 4x mile with Tommy Awad. He split a 4 flat .2, I think, and won it in the like he had a huge kick the last 100 meters, and I guess it was the first time Penn had ever won a relay at their own meet in like over 40 years. That was cool.
Dang, that's awesome.
That is cool. That is awesome. Penn has really cool uniforms.
Yes. Yeah, they're the best. They're honestly, it's my favorite uniform.
It doesn't matter how you race. It matters
look.
how cool you look in your uniform.
I know. I had to throw that in there because I love them. They have
They pull off that striped top better than anybody I ever seen.
Whoa,
Yeah.
what?
well,
Whoa, second, the stripes. I mean, I know
Well,
of a high school team who can pull off the stripes pretty
You
well.
guys do vertical. That's lame. There's our horizontal. It's cool.
yeah. I mean, horizontal is a whole nother level.
It's a whole nother direction.
It's like the college level.
Truly.
Well, did Oregon race at all? You know Hennessy?
Nope.
The
A
Oregon
lot of
didn't
people,
go to
a lot of
Penn
people didn't
this year.
actually go. Like,
Both meets, like Drake and Penn, just had a lot less. Like the fields were a
Pulled
lot.
out.
Yeah. Well, not that they pulled out, but I guess like for a lot of the southern schools, like SEC schools, I guess LSU was hosting a meet, like a big meet, the same weekend as Drake and Penn. So a lot of the SEC schools went there instead, and for whatever reason, there just weren't that many West Coast schools at either Drake or Penn this year. So couldn't tell you where they all went.
Yeah, I noticed that a bunch of SEC schools pulled out of Drake because there's usually more. Like Missouri raced there last year, and Will doubled like 2 403s or whatever.
Yeah.
But they weren't there this year.
Yeah, I looked at the heat sheets, and like I just remember from like after the steeple, I was just sitting in the tent talking with a couple of guys from Washington and Baylor, and I looked at the heat sheets this year, and neither of those schools were there. I mean, there was also the Peyton Jordan.
Yeah.
So that's probably where they all went.
There's always so many college meets like going on where there's just
It's right. It's right around like this week where it's just everyone is trying to get to all these legit meets. So it's like almost like there's too many meets for all the people, or there's like so many meets, like not everybody goes to the same ones. But it doesn't matter. All the results, like if you look at the results from any of those meets, they're all insane and fast. So for us track fans, it's good.
And we love track.
yeah, right.
That we do.
Professional world, we've got
Some
Tyler,
big stories happening in the professional world. The first one I want to point out is that Chris Solinsky announces his retirement from professional running. So he's had an amazing career. Like, there's no we don't need to, like, everybody knows. Like, he was wasn't he the first American to go under 27 minutes in the 10K? Yeah.
I mean, at this point, if you consider yourself a fan of distance running and you don't know who Solinsky is or what his accomplishments are, then are you really a fan?
Yeah, like, who do you think you are?
Just like the epitome of a grinder. He's like a big dude who's just constantly been working so hard to get to where he is. And he won Foot Locker in 2002, I believe, out of high school. Went to run for the University of Madison, Wisconsin for the Badgers. Then competed for Nike. Him and his teammate, Matt Tegenkamp, the two of them, you see them like just duking it out Tegenkamp just announced his retirement. He's not competing for the Olympic trials this summer, and he's an awesome runner, and now Chris Solinsky as well. But Solinsky's been battling a lot of injuries compared to
that's what he was
a good
saying.
majority. Yeah.
In his,
majority distance running hasn't had to have that, or like you haven't had to deal as much as Solinsky has.
Yeah, his main reason for, like, I was reading the article about it. He talked about how he had some Achilles tendonitis in his right leg over, like, the winter, and so he hadn't been running a lot, even though, like, I actually got a chance to, like, meet him and talk to him while I was at Wisconsin camp over the summer. And he was saying, like, how he was having, like, a really great summer, and he was, like, ready for this, but these injuries kind of hindered him and hurt him, and he didn't feel like he was up to the full potential. And, like we've said, like, he ran 26:59.6 back in 2010. He was the first one ever, and like correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if you guys have heard of this or not, but I'm pretty sure he's coaching at the College of William and Mary. Yeah, I think I remember him saying, right there.
Yeah, he's coaching at College of William and Mary, and so I mean he's still keeping himself in the running world, and what an honor it would be to be learning or being coached under that guy,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was just for the brief couple minutes we were talking to him, and he was like talking to the kids at Wisconsin camp. Like, he was so knowledgeable, and he had like so much information to give, that just so much helpful. Like, he really just seemed like a great guy and was super cool to talk to, and like very humble, and like it's awesome to see him race, and it kind of is unfortunate to see that he's done now. But
yeah, it's also going to be huge for William and Mary as far as recruiting goes, because honestly, all you need to say is, "I'm Chris Solinsky. You want to run for me or not?" And I feel like 99% of runners would be like, "Oh yeah, no."
Yes,
okay.
Of course.
Yeah. Where do I sign?
I'm Chris Solinsky. Y or N?
Yes, sir. Are you in or not?
Yeah.
You in or not? Yes or no?
It's unfortunate to see him go, but I mean, been losing a lot of those big guys have been retiring. It's gonna open up doors for the new class of professional runners to come through, which will be super cool. It's sad to see these guys leaving, because it's the first. I feel like, especially for me, growing up, that these were the big guys runners to look at.
Yeah, they were the guys.
When I think of famous athletes or professional athletes, I would think of Ryan Hall, Chris Solinsky, and Matt Tegenkamp, and now they're all getting to that point to where they're retiring, and it's sad to see them go, because they really were the ones to bring running into.
They made it cool. They made it cool again.
Yeah. They made it awesome.
The one guy who's never ever going to retire though is Legat.
Yeah.
No, that guy's just gonna run forever.
He's gonna run forever and win forever.
Yes. Yeah. Did you see he ran a 20 I don't know what did he run? 27:49 in his first ever 10K at Peyton Jordan.
Again? Jeez.
Bernard Legat.
Man.
So, and he's 41 years old.
Oh my god.
I think. Or he's 41 or 40.
I hope to still be walking by then and not my knees give out because of all the running I've been doing throughout my life. All right, next, we can move on to the next story. In a little bit of a more humorous kind of, not as serious as someone retiring, Nick Symmonds is selling 9 square inches of his skin to be tattooed off again. I remember he did this previously, right, where Nick Symmonds is constantly talking about how he wants to make running and track events more like either horse racing or NASCAR.
NASCAR, yeah.
He thinks people can advertise on the skin. And I mean, if it brings people in, whatever. Have you guys seen the price that it's at yet?
No, what is the price? I was wondering what it is.
I want you guys to guess. Guess how much it is right now.
So right now,
it's bid on eBay. It's bid on eBay. It ends Thursday at 3:36 p.m. So by the time this episode goes out, it would have already been sold. But what price do you think it's at?
$1.5 million.
Close.
No way.
No, I'm lying. It's not close at all.
I was like, there's no way someone's paying him $1 million. What is he gonna do with all the extra money?
$900,000.
How about $12,000?
Ooh, $12,000. You're a little high, Bruyn.
$9,000.
Low. $10,400 right now.
Is it who is bidding on this? Is it companies or is it just
I would assume.
Holy cow! And he's gonna get a tattoo on him That's just so weird. Tattoos are permanent. Did we forget that?
Well, you can get temporary.
You get a temporary one.
There are some that last a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, last time he did this was back in 2012, and the winning bid was $11,100.
Jeez.
$11,100 to Hanson Dodge Creative.
Yeah, and then he had that on his arm, and I remember because when we were there watching last year, he had to have a tape over his arm. Yeah. You think he's gonna do something crazy like not run in the Olympics like he did for the World Championships? I mean, first he's gotta make it. First he's gotta make
Nike, because it's not gonna be Brooks, and he's gonna complain about that.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people really respect him for what he's doing, and I understand what he's doing. Because it is kind of like a monopoly sometimes when you think about it, but I just think to not, like, you're representing your country, you're representing the name on the front more than the logo on the sleeve, you know? I don't know, that's just my opinion of it. Like, I run for America, I don't run for Nike, even if Nike is the uniform I'm wearing.
Yeah, you're talking about, like, the World Championships and stuff.
Yeah. But, I mean, I guess if you're looking at it like he's trying to do something like Steve Prefontaine did, where you can make it life better for distance running, just like Steve Prefontaine did with AAU, and how that was a corrupt system back then.
Yeah. I feel like it's a little bit different. I don't know the professional world. I don't know what it's like up there, but I feel like it's not as bad or harsh as like Pre had it back in. Because I mean, you hear the stories of he like lived out of like a trailer and stuff like that, and had like, no money to his name. And then Symmonds is selling his shoulder for $10,000. Like,
well, I do know that when Kara Goucher and Adam Goucher had a son, there was all these talk about, are you going to have him run? And they said, no, because there's no money in it. We want him, you know, like maybe he'll run if he loves it. If he enjoys it, he'll run. But we're hope for something better than him because there's no money in it. And so
well, hopefully, maybe Nick Symmonds can change that. Maybe by the time the younger Goucher is old enough, he can make a living out of it.
Yeah, well, first younger Goucher has to be good. Just because your parents are good doesn't mean you will be.
This is true. This is very true. But I'm saying for all the upcoming generations, like I think this is good in the long run. This will open the conversation.
I mean, our dad has talked about how he thought it would be cool if you could bet on track and field races like it would, like horse races.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it would be cool. It would be. I mean, I'm sure people do it all the time anyways, like just for fun.
Like just a handshake, like with your buddy, like, hey, I bet you.
Yeah, I mean, we do, for like the state cross meet, we've done fantasy cross country a bunch of times, and that's super cool to do, where like you like draft a team.
Yeah,
more for
me and my like when we went down to the state track meet, all the guys on the team and our coaches, we would just for fun, like we would draft, or we would before each event starts, we would all choose a guy, and the draft order would change each time.
Oh yeah, that's something we've always
score it out. Yeah, we'd score it out like
in the the 100-meter dash during prelims. We would always sit there at the end and be like, oh, I got lane 5, I got lane 6, I got the guy in red.
You'd have like quarters, and you'd bet it with quarters.
Yep. We didn't use money. We just used bread.
Did you say you used bread or pride?
Pride.
Okay.
Pride. So much more important than money.
Yeah. I bet bread.
I bet you 5 slices of French toast.
I got a pretzel roll. I'll bet that.
You got this.
Oh, he's dropping the pretzel.
I'll match you. Yeah, like if Nick Symmonds, like hopefully, I do hope Nick Symmonds. I mean, I don't. To be honest, I don't particularly care which team or who ends up buying the space on his arm, but I do hope that he's able to display that space on his arm during the races. Like, hopefully he won't have to cover it up.
Yeah.
All right. That makes me think of something. If you had the chance to tattoo something onto Nick Symmonds' arm, what would you tattoo onto it? Like, if you were the winning bid, what would you put on his arm?
The winning bid?
Nike running.
Nothing I can even say would be better than that.
Honestly, I don't know why Nike isn't just throwing all their money at him. Just like, all right,
we're gonna tattoo on you.
Yeah, I don't. You're sponsored by Brooks, but get at Nike running tattooed onto your arm for everyone to see.
That would be so funny.
or like Adidas running or Saucony, just like a rival shoe brand. I don't know why they're not just throwing all their money into this.
Tattoo Brooks sucks on his arm.
Something like that, yeah.
Gosh,
that was really fun. But yeah, I mean, it's weird to me to think that like there's so many professional athletes that have tattoos on them. Like, I mean, so many professional runners out there that have tattoos on them. Do they have to cover up theirs, or is it just because it's a logo? That's the reason they have to.
I think it's because it's a logo.
Because, like, if I were to have the Disney tattoo of, like, the castle on my arm, I'm not advertising them, but it's technically a logo, so do I have to
I like how you
cover that up, you know?
Well, like, because I know for a fact you're getting that tattooed on your arm, so it's not a hit. It's win.
I'm not, but I'm just saying, like, if I did, like, if I had, you know, a Star Wars, like, the words, you know, like, I feel like, I don't know, there's probably tons of people that have different logos or things on their arms, so I don't know.
There's a lot of thought that needs to be put into this, I think, by the powers that be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, last time it seemed like Nick just kind of just went along with it because he wanted to run in the Olympics, but we've seen him do stuff now where we know it's not going to be like that this year or this time. Like, he's going to fight for it and make a biggest deal out of it that he can in order to get, you know, things changed. So it's interesting. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
First, he's got to make the Olympics.
True. First, he's got to make the Olympic team.
The 800 field, the U.S. 800 field is very, very deep. So
yeah, and it's such an unpredictable race. So
yeah, well, that covers all the topics that we've had for this week. Got anything else you guys want to put in?
No, I'm just good luck to all the listeners and their conference meets and college, high school. You know, be on the lookout for some big meets coming up. I'll be super excited to get back. I'm almost headed back to Illinois here soon, finishing up my last few weeks here in Florida, and I'm excited to
the gong.
Come back.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited to come back and see the great state meet. So let's show up, Illinois.
Yep. We got the talent. It's gonna be some great races. I'm really excited for that. So
yeah,
and we're gonna be covering all of that. We're gonna be covering predictions, recaps, everything. We're gonna be doing a lot.
Hopefully, we're gonna try to get some coaches on here to talk about some sectionals and state preview stuff on the next show. So stay tuned for that.
Make sure you follow us on Twitter at High Mileage Pod. You get to see our insight onto the races upcoming. We say some things. Also, big news, forgot to mention this, we're now up on iTunes. So there's a podcast app on every iPhone and everything like that. So if you just go into that and you search High Mileage, it'll come up and you can subscribe and download all our episodes. Our first 5 episodes are up there now, and we'll be putting up these next ones as we get the chance to. So yeah, that's super cool that we get to be on that, and it's going to be great.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Making strides.
Making strides here.
Strides, good one. That's a running term. I get it.
We try to have fun. We try to be funny here.
All right. Thank you all for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks to William Hennessy for being on again.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Good luck to Marquette at their conference meet.
Good luck to Eastern Illinois.
Yeah.
And good luck. And I want to echo Tyler's sentiment. Good luck to all the high school kids. If you're seniors, enjoy it, because you're going to miss it, no matter what you think.
Yeah. Will's getting sentimental now that he's graduated.
I am getting sentimental.
Oh, Will's graduating.
Well, I mean, I graduated from high school 4 years ago, and then I'm thinking back, I'm like, wow, I did have a lot of fun senior year.
Running forever.
I don't know if I'm going to be done with running forever. But.
Yeah, I know.
Seriously though, when you're on our track racing next, if you're, if the season's winding down, all you got.
Make it count.
You never know what's coming in the future, so you got to make what's happening right then and right now, count.
Yep. All right, that ends the show. Finish with lap 6.
Boo boo. Lap 6, High Mileage Podcast.
Lap 6. We should add. I'm gonna add air horns there at the end.
Oh boy.
Finish!